good when the stage drops. Believe me when I say she don't look good. Believe me.
Yo, what it is, everybody? It's your boy Srotonn here, but you could call me Tone. All right, listen, I'm gonna react to the first 5 episodes of Starting 5. Now, straight up off rip, it's almost addicting. I'm not gonna lie. If you know me, I'm a big basketball fan. I low-key need to start reacting to like basketball games, but we'll talk about that later. So I just want to go through certain things that popped out on me, my review, what I thought about this, what I thought about that. Who we're starting off with is not gonna be LeBron. It's not gonna be LeBron, even though LeBron is the GOAT. We starting off with your reigning NBA champions, Jason motherfucking Tatum. That's what we starting off with. I don't give a. All right, so first thing off rip, I thought it was so important and cool, especially as a black father. It was interesting seeing Deuce have a personality a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never really heard him talk for real, but seeing him talk about, okay, my dad doing this, my dad doing that, I want to see him do it. It's like the man is like, you can see him like developing like a personality. And I think that was really cool to see. And then second, I want to talk about, as a Boston Celtic fan, you get to really see a lot of Tatum's winning in attitude. I don't really watch any of the post-game interviews because a lot of those be like, media PR answers. I don't want to hear that shit. But this one, you can really see and tell that he has a winning attitude. And I love to see, he's talking about, yeah, man, I want to win everything. Hearing that as a Boston Celtics fan, that is like really dope. And because, for me, Tatum, he appears to be this cool, calm, collected guy. He's always, oh, it's gonna be cool, it's fine, don't worry about it. But here, he has a little intensity about him. That was really dope to see, that I never thought he had in him, to be honest. Because I was a Celtic fan. I was like, yeah, Tatum's cool. Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's the guy. And this kind of made me look at Jason Tatum a little differently. I'm not gonna lie. And the second thing with Tatum, it shows his mom and his dad. It was really cool seeing his mom talk about, yeah, he got his competitive ability from me. And she was like, yeah, and it's so crazy how people criticize my son more intensely than they do anybody else. She was like, yeah, some of that aggravates the hell out of me. And I'm just like, I don't think she said that verbatim, but basically that's what she was saying. I was like, that's interesting seeing that coming from a parent, because some people try to be all PR and be like, nah, they just doing their job. No, she's like, yeah, I don't like that. And I thought that was real cool. Jason Tatum's dad, his parents I seen for the first time, but Jason Tatum's dad I seen for the first time. Apparently he was a big player. I think he was a big player overseas, and now he coaches somebody. And then also, of course, and we all know he emulates his game after Kobe. He talks about Kobe. He talks about how he met him when he was real young. I think he said he got an autograph and everything. He explains how that intensity that Kobe had got him into his mindset as well. I've seen the memes about Jason Tatum and Kobe, but hearing him talk about it made you appreciate it a little bit more, to me. All right, so next we're going to talk about LeBron James. Now this part might be a little bit more extensive because I feel like it's like a teaser to a LeBron documentary. It's basically like a lot of it is around LeBron. All right, so out the gate, I want to talk about how they talk about LeBron's and Savannah's relationship. I knew that they were in love, but how deep their love went and how much they care for each other, I think it's amazing. They literally called each other's best friend, and you can see that love. You can see the love that he has for Savannah, which rightfully so. I thought that was really interesting that they got into hear Savannah, because I don't be looking for Savannah to talk. I don't be looking it up. Okay, but to hear Savannah actually talk as well, seeing her a little bit of her personality, seeing her, I think it's her getting ready for the Halloween. I don't know if she was big into Halloween. It doesn't really say. Supporting her man and like dressing up for Halloween, taking pictures and stuff like that. I thought that was amazing. And then seeing their whole family dynamic, seeing their kids talk, but what really surprised me, because I never seen it before, was LeBron's daughter name, I think it's Zuri. She has a whole character. She's a whole character, and I never seen her talk or anything. But she talks a lot. She talks about how she sees her dad. She talks about things that are going on in the house, and it's pretty cool to see. It's amazing that even allowed us to have a view into their family lives like that. I think that is crazy. They also talk about Bronny going into cardiac arrest. You see the actual staff that was there to help him. You see them. They just talk about it briefly, but you see how appreciative Bron is. You see Bron, his mom is in it. Savannah even talks about it, and she actually gets emotional, you know, because they say at the end of the day, you know, that's their kid. They have all these thoughts. They're scared when he's playing or when, you know, about the whole situation. And they was like, Bronny, the only thing Bronny cared about was, when am I gonna play ball again? You know what I'm saying? So them opening up and being that vulnerable with us, I thought it was dope. And then we get to talk about how much work LeBron does. And let me say, I don't know if it was edited that way specifically, but it seems like LeBron is the hardest worker and out of all 5 of these niggas. I ain't gonna lie. They talk about, like, you know how people were saying that he spent over $1 million every year on his body, and he doesn't confirm the number, of course, but he says, you know, he's like, that's crazy that they say I spent over $1 million, you know, but he's like, I'm not gonna say the number, but that's crazy. You see the machines that he used, the items, I guess, that he would use to control his body. He has an item, like he has a mechanism to like control his feet so it be straight. Like his trainer like has some shit. I guess he has like a trainer, a long life trainer or something like that. And like his trainer has like this little device that he puts on LeBron's toes to try to straighten them. I was like, what the fuck? And he talks about his ritual, what time he wakes up, what time he goes to the arena. He said, you know, the time that he takes a nap, like he really get into LeBron's schedule and how really important to him that he's healthy enough to play the game at the level that he does. So that's really cool. All right, so next we're gonna talk about Ant-Man. Ant-Man was really, really dope to see because, you know, everybody else is real, like kind of reserved, kind of calm. LeBron shows a lot. He has a lot of personality, so that was cool. But none of these motherfuckers got personality like and I thought that was really, really dope to see, bro. Like he comes off, they introduce him like riding I think a Lambo, hoodie on, just looking like a dog, you know what I'm saying? So that was really cool. And then you see a lot of his personality. He like, yeah, I'm the best. I'm the best out of all these niggas. I don't give a fuck. And then, you know what I'm saying? People like me gravitates to that because I love confidence. That's what you want to see out of players, but you don't want to, I don't want to see somebody that's always reserved, calm, never show emotion. Man, no. Get in their face, talk your shit. And that's basically what Ant was doing the whole time. He was just talking shit the entire time. When he was talking shit, you got to see how vulnerable and how much he loves his family. He talks about his sister, who basically at a young, I forgot what age he said, but at a young age, I think she had to stop going to college and she had to look out for him and his brother. And because their mom, he said his mom died, and then I think shortly after his grandma died. So he said that, you know, that was a big toll on the family, as you can imagine. So I did not know any of that. I didn't even know his mom had died, to be honest. So, you know, kudos to him for even opening up like that. So that was interesting. And it talks about how he loves video games. Also something I didn't know, but you can expect it though, being a young dude. He said he loves video games, and he also talks about how he doesn't like to pack. So his uncle packs his clothes for him. Well, packs everything for him, which I thought was pretty interesting. Like, does he got his uncle like on retainer or some shit to pack his clothes? So that was pretty funny to see. And then he talks about how he hurt his hip during the play-in, the end of season tournament or whatever it was. He doesn't really go into depth, but he talks about different exercises that he had to do to get his body right. And he said it sucks because he wants to play. He likes to play every game. He said he actually doesn't like to dunk because he said it hurts. He's like, but he loved dunking on people, and I think they show his biggest dunks, the dunk he did on Toronto, and they show the dunk that he did on John Collins. How do I seen that dunk, and I low-key kind of forgot about it, but I was like, God, that John Collins dunk was insane. And they talk about the MJ comparisons side to side. If you haven't seen it, they damn near play the same. They really do. And also, who's a big narrator in there is my GOAT, Kevin Garnett. He talks about everybody. He talks about everybody's involved. He talks about them. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so a lot of it shows that Anthony Edwards is just a cocky ass, stereotypical nigga. You know, no disrespect at all. Cause, you know, we all know people like that, but that's what is just funny. But it's cool to see that confidence in a young dude. It is, bro. Nothing wrong with being humble, but so refreshing seeing somebody that's not the typical today NBA player. All right, next, we're gonna talk about Sabonis. Now, including me, I was like, how the hell did Sabonis get in this bitch? No disrespect to him, because I knew who Sabonis was, but I didn't watch his games because I mean, they just wasn't a winning franchise from what I saw. So I was like, I'll catch him on the flip. I like Harrison Barnes, but I don't really know about anybody else that's on that team. But yeah, it opens up with Sabonis. You see his personality. You see he's a fun-loving, silly dude. One thing I loved about this, honestly, bro, is his wife. His wife was so intense when it comes to him. Like, she do not play when it comes to him, and that's something I love to see. I love when wives are really invested in the sport that their husbands plays. Like she would be the type to be like, yeah, you got her dropped off in the third quarter. I thought that shit was funny as hell. She talks about how she felt when Draymond thumped on Sabonis' chest. She said she was pregnant, but she was like infuriated and all stuff like that. Which, I mean, who wouldn't be? You know what I'm saying? That's like I'm watching my girl chest get stumped on, and you're like, hey, who wouldn't be mad at some shit like that? You know? So rightfully so. You know, he talks about, and then Arvydas, his dad, is also in the game, so that is also in it as well. So that was really cool to see. If you don't know Arvydas, I don't really remember who Arvydas was, obviously, but I know him from watching highlights as I got older. And man, a great passer, just like his dad. Arvydas was I think he was a lot taller. I know he was 7'3". I'm not sure how tall DeMontis is, but everybody in there saying Sabonis was that Arvydas was like that. But it's not about him. You know, but it was cool. But they were saying, like, to come from that, like, oh, I got to live up to that, and then be the player that he is incredible. It brought a lot of attention to who Sabonis really is. And he was talking about, because they were like, oh, we got to talk about the triple doubles, and he was like, I don't really want to, I'm like to brag on myself, it's interesting that people say that, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm the type of I'll be like, yeah, I did that shit. Damn, Skip, I did. But it's interesting, like, bro, you did, like, they was talking about he had seven triple doubles in 1 month, 30 something triple doubles in a season. And then they had 20 back-to-back double doubles. Like, I knew he was balling, but I didn't know he was balling like that. Like, it's incredible. They talk about that, and he's like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird talking about it, man. And then one of the most controversial things they mentioned was him not being selected to be an all-star. And I didn't know that he was an all-star, and correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it feels like, because the Kings right now is like a small market. Like, I remember hearing about the Kings when they had that Lakers big rivalry back in the 2000s. But it seems like the Kings is a smaller market. Like he was talking about, I think he has never played on Christmas, if I'm correct. No, OKC. He played, I think he said he played Christmas on OKC, but he hasn't played, I don't think the Kings has played on Christmas. So he would say, it doesn't really, it kind of bothers him, but he's like, at the same time, he's like, I'm just work harder. So I don't think it bothers him. I do think it kind of seemed like it bothered his wife. Like I said, she be ride or die for him, man. That's something that I love to see. Last but not least, they talk about Jimmy Buckets. Now, starting off, I ain't gonna lie, I did not know Jimmy Butler had kids. Now his kids it seemed like his kids are way kind of too young to talk for real, show you they have a personality, except one. And you'll see it in there. He was basically talking about how a girl had texted him about friend zoning him. And I think it was his kid, I'm not sure. Basically the kid was like, let me see it. He was like, hell no. First off, it shows something that I didn't know, is that the man loves coffee. Like I think he has a barista on command. He talks about how he loves to take the last shot, which, I mean, you got Jimmy Butler on your name, on your team. Why would you not? Why would you not give him the ball, last shot? And then he starts to talk about, on media day, how he always have these different hairstyles. He didn't really give a further explanation besides he wants to troll them. That's pretty much what he was. Yeah, I just want to troll them. So he was talking about that. He was talking about how he actually got the emo look. He was like, I guess it's his babysitter, I think, or nanny, that goes to like emo clubs or something like that. And he was like, oh, word? Well, okay. Blah, 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 asking her about her lifestyle. And I guess she was like, you should do emo hairstyle. And then he was like, bet. So he was talking about that. And you get to see Buddy from Fall Out Boy. I can't think of his name. What is his name? I think it's Pete. I think him and Pete, they basically like a behind the scenes of the video that they shot together. He talks about how he loves to play domino, which also something else I didn't know. He said his dad used to take him, I think he said he was like 6 years old, to go play people in the neighborhood. And at first they was like, nah, he's just a kid. But he was like, that's how he got better. You know what I'm saying? He used to just drop people off. Him and his dad used to drop people off at Domino's. And to what he says, seems like that Domino's actually makes him makes him better at basketball. Makes him look at things differently. But so it was interesting to hear that. I've never heard anybody say that. So that was interesting for him to hear that. He also gets, which I say is crazy, bro, that they let people in their lives like this. As vulnerable as they were, it's so crazy. He talks about his dad and what his dad mean to him. He also talks about his dad passing. He said, you know, he learned that his dad's sickness was terminal. And I think he got, what was that? It was a high scoring game I think he got. So he went and got his shoes, gave it to his dad. And I think he said, if I'm right, that night when he got a text saying that his dad was gone. You know, prayers to him. You know, I know that was a crazy moment. I think he said he was on a plane too. And also he talks about him making music. You know, it's like a behind the scenes with him, probably like 2 or 3 songwriters coming up with music, coming up with topics. And that was dope to see. It seems like Jimmy Butler is just really like, I don't know, bro. Like, it's hard to get a grip on who the he is, because he just likes so many things. And then he gets into his feet problem, which it shows one game where he had injured his ankle, I think twice in a game. And then after that segues into him basically like realizing, oh, I have to like take care of my feet a lot better. I think his trainer said 50% of the workouts they do are from the knee and below, something like that. But basically like his lower half, they really focus on his lower half. That's basically what they were saying. Lastly, as a whole, they talk about different things. They talk about playing on Christmas. They talk about what it means to them. Of course, Bron and Tatum have a different point of view than them, because Lakers and Celtics, Christmas Day every time. So they were talking about that, and like I said, Sabonis was saying like, you know, he never gets to play on Christmas. And you know, he would like for it. And I mean, hopefully one day it does happen for him. And they also talk about the in-game tournament. Oh, everybody was like, they don't understand it, they don't get it. But Sabonis was like, I'm the only person that get it. I don't understand why y'all confused. So that, oh my God. And then, but you get to see all these people on the court. They're mic'd up. So you get to see them against each other too. You get a mic'd up Ant, a mic'd up Bron, mic'd up Sabonis, and then you get a mic'd up Ant versus Tatum, a mic'd up LeBron versus Butler. Like it's intense and it's great basketball to watch, bro. But I think I've pretty much held y'all up longer than I wanted to. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, man. This is a great watch. I cannot wait to watch the next 5 episodes, man. Until next time, I'm out.